CBS's new police drama NYC 22 follows 6 NYPD rookies as they patrol the gritty streets of Upper Manhattan. With unique backgrounds, personalities, and reasons for being on the force, the new cops will make their share of rookie mistakes while they figure out how to relate to their boss, each other, and the people they swore to protect. Series stars Adam Goldberg and Leelee Sobieski join us this morning. I'm big fans of both of your work. Good morning to you.
Thank you. I'm so glad we don't have to describe the show now. This is perfect, because that's the hardest part.
Isn't that
and you
tough?
just did it, and it was so eloquent.
I'm so glad you liked it.
Thank you, Nikki.
So let's just talk about clothes.
Yeah. Oh, I love talking about clothes. Well, let's do this. Let's do this first. Let's talk about what sets NYC 22 apart from all the other police dramas. What makes it unique?
Well, the show, is created by Richard Price, and he's really phenomenal.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a kind of a pedigree, I think, that drew us both to the show. And Richard Price, who's like a pretty esteemed, crime writer, wrote for The Wire, but also has written, Color of Money, several movies, plays, novels. James Mangold, is a great director. Walk the Line, etc. Directed the pilot. De Niro and Jane Rosenthal. Their company Tribeca executive produced it, so it really I think sets it apart in those terms. But in terms of the actual content of the show, it's very specifically about this one part of Harlem and how we kind of interact with these people, and they interact with each other, and how they deal with the kind of gentrification of their old their old neighborhoods, and
we really get to shoot in Harlem.
That's amazing.
Which is like a really big character.
Well, you see things.
New York City is the character itself. Yeah, in Harlem.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't see. Richard was saying in this thing we did last night that he wanted to make a show where you didn't see the Empire State Building in every shot or whatever.
Right.
So you don't see the Brooklyn Bridge.
It's kind of like the Hawaii that was featured in Descendants. It's like a different Hawaii than you're used to seeing.
Right. It's not the tourist New York.
We're basically we're the descendants of cop shows.
I love that. Well, and your characters are interesting. Let's talk a little bit about that real quickly. Ray Lazarus Harper and Jennifer Whitehouse Perry. I like that. What are the characters all about?
Well, everybody's got a very specific kind of background that's very well defined and very interesting, and each of us kind of have our own sort of baggage. There's something that we're all kind of contending with, and the jobs that we have on the street tend to reflect some of our own sort of personality issues, insecurities, and that kind of thing. I was a crime reporter who got fired from his job, and sort of lost everything, his wife and everything, became a drunk, and tried to get it together by becoming a cop.
Well, and we love you. Your comedy. I was just going to say real quick to Adam is that you do so much with comedy. Do you add a little comic flair to the character as well?
Yeah, he has a lot of dark humor.
Yeah, I think all of the characters. In situations like this, and on the force in general, I think it's fairly realistic that there's a kind of a dark humor that pervades these sorts of things. In war, in any kind of conflict.
Right. And what about Leelee's character?
I don't know. You want to talk about Leelee's character?
Leelee's character was a former White House security guard?
Color guard.
Color guard.
Ah.
Is that like a forward in basketball, or?
No, color guard is like, sometimes you can get made fun of a little bit for being a color guard because you're more kind of, dressed up officially, kind of, parading around with the president type of situation. But she was also a former Marine, so.
She's a badass, basically.
I love it. Well, and with Tribeca as executive producers, that means De Niro, that means you got some good people looking out for you, and I'm so happy to see you both on the air. It's exciting. Thank you both so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Tons of continued success to both of you. And NYC 22 airs Sunday at 8 on our sister station, KRQE, and we will be right back. Thanks, guys.